I could not foresee this thing happening to you. This morning, I needed more drywall screws, so I went to Lowe's and I found this. 50% off an entire box. Amazing. Morning roundup. Skull can. And this producer of Sharkies has become clogged. We've got a very nice ice cream, and we've got a very nice T-Rex skull. Guitar Octos, they just keep selling. Fittingly for July 4th, George Washington. Got the coffee cup lid, and supremely annoying, I tried a whole different thing, worked for a little bit, and did not work after a while. Like, why? Why? Okay, so here's something I'm going to do. I'm gonna pull this out, we're gonna put it back in, and it's gonna start working. All we did, take the filament out, kind of break off the end or whatever, and it's working. Why? Why would this be? If it can extrude, why does it not extrude? There's a little bit of like sort of burnt or something at the end there. I guess maybe we'll just try a basic new nozzle, clip off the end of the Bowden tube. I don't know. I'm at my wit's end with this thing. Well, it's been 4 days since I ordered the new motor and they have not shipped it yet. So we'll see if Philobot ships the things I buy from them. They never have not shipped an item that I bought from them. They just don't answer for customer service via email or phone. So this would be a new level of horribleness if they just straight up didn't ship things you buy from them. But we'll see. This is the screw bowl. Kind of random. I was thinking about the fact that I've seen a bunch of stuff on social media where people will say things like, I applied to 50 jobs and none of them called me back. Who can get a job in this economy? And like, I'm sure it is hard for them. But the thing you don't think about, I think, is nobody posts about like, oh, I applied to 20 jobs and one of them called me back and I got hired. It's one of those things where you only ever see one side of the story. Like nobody says, oh yeah, it was kind of tough to find a job, but I found one. Like, why would somebody post about that on social media? You know, you only post about things that are like kind of exceptional. I don't know, it's just one of those things. Makes me wonder, how many jobs did you have to apply to before you got hired? Tell me in the comments. Oh yeah, the reason I thought of that, I get these emails from Indeed. I never like took down my resume or anything, but I just got one that is like $30 some an hour. Not a job offer, but an interview offer or something. I mean, I have no reason to take a job at this point, but it just makes me wonder, like, if I was really trying to get a job, how hard would it be? It almost makes me want to do it just to see what people are going through. It'd be a little mean to recruiters. We get right up to the point where they offer me the job and then I'm like, oh, this was just a social experiment. Take a look at that. Wow. Let's ship the Sharky. So we sold a Guitar Octo in a whole new color. You know what that means. New product, baby, yeah. And it's a regal purple. Big thumbs up. Wow, there's a little kitten there. All right, here is a great example of something. I can't read you this customer's communications with me, but they asked twice about when an item is going to be shipped. I answered the first time, they just asked for the second time. This person bought a Winston Churchill pipe stand, which was actually only 35 bucks. I've been marking up the prices on a lot of things, but I just haven't got around to that one. This guy, like, one of the first messages he sent me after buying the thing, he said like the other pipe stands look better. So he's already complaining about a thing that he hasn't even received yet. And he's asked when I'm going to ship it twice after I told him the first time. So you know what this means. We are going to cancel this guy's order. See, if he had bought something that was like $300, maybe I would think twice about it. Because for 300 bucks, I wouldn't prefer to get a bad review, but it's 300 bucks. The last thing I'm ever going to do is risk getting a bad review for $35. This guy asked twice when this thing's gonna be mailed, complaining about the appearance. That is a clear sign that you should cancel this person's order. If you're ever in this situation, unless you just really need the 35 bucks, yeah. Yep. So we canceled this guy's order and he's already mad, which is, you know, there are two reactions when you cancel a person's order. There's the apologetic reaction, like, oh, I wasn't trying to come across this way, which is more reasonable. And then there's the people who just think they're entitled to buy from you. Yup, he sent me a message just as I was recording this. He is the entitled person, the second kind of person. See, I have like a couple of rules with who I will sell to. This is just the general crazy person rule. Like, if a person asks you a question that you've already answered, stupid, crazy, and angry are very correlated things. You have to use good judgment. Like, don't just write people off needlessly. But a person that is just asking really dumb questions is the kind of person who leaves a bad review, because there's probably some aspect of the product or something that they didn't even read the description, they didn't even read the title. Some of these people maybe can't read. 19% of high school graduates basically can't read in America, which is a horrible statistic. So you don't want to sell to them, as sad as that is. The other one is, I don't sell to anybody who asks me 3 questions or more in any message. Sometimes there are exceptions, because I can see, like, somebody could be very, very enthusiastic and they're just really excited, and you can kind of feel that. Maybe I give an exception for that, especially if they're buying something expensive. But like, there are the kind of questions where they're like tire kickers. You know, you're buying a used car, and you're asking like, do the windshield wipers work? What about the clicker? What about this thing? What about that thing? Like, that's the kind of person that leaves you a bad review. Yeah, he just sent me a message saying that he never asked when the thing was gonna be mailed. He asked this twice. I wish I could show you this. Yeah. Oh, the other thing is people that just lie in super obvious ways. Now, sometimes customers, you know, they're buying a lot of stuff online. They don't remember who they talk to. So there's some, you have to use judgment with this, is what I'm trying to say. But a person that is just asking the dumbest questions possible and then they lie about it, do not sell to those people. Not if you can help it. Not everybody's worth selling to. Yeah, so this guy's denying that he ever asked, because he's just trying to con me into giving him the thing. These are all red flags, and it's making me think I made the right decision. Now, I imagine other people could come to different conclusions on this. This is just my rule. I'm not saying my judgment is perfect. I'm just a dude. But I've been doing this for 6, almost 7 years. In a few months, it's gonna be 7 years. And I'm telling you, like, things get a lot better when you don't sell to these people. So that's your tip for the day. Okay, so this person did the thing where, I actually don't know what causes this, but it's like they escalate this to a customer needs help with order chat. What I've found is that a lot of customers think that that doesn't go to you as the seller. A lot of customers seem to think they're contacting Etsy or something. I don't know why Etsy does this, but we're gonna use ChatGPT, and I'm doing the hack I talked about a few weeks ago, where I tell ChatGPT to write a response in the style of a 30+ year customer service decorated worker, the best customer service worker on the planet. All right, I'll read you what ChatGPT wrote. Thanks for reaching out. We understand how important it is to have clarity on your order, and we appreciate you taking the time to express your concerns. In reviewing the situation, it appears the seller has chosen to proactively cancel this order. While we recognize this may be disappointing, sellers do retain the right to cancel transactions in rare cases where they believe the order may not result in a positive experience for either party. That said, please know the order has been fully canceled and you won't be charged. If you're interested in a similar item, you're welcome to explore other listings from different sellers on the platform. We're here to help if you have any additional questions or need assistance with anything else. So that's pretty nice. Now this person can't leave me a bad review because this is before it was even shipped or anything. But I just felt like using this and kind of showing you that this is an option. I haven't done research on this, but I would say that it's important that you don't actually impersonate Etsy or whatever question or whatever site you're selling on. And I'm not doing that. I'm not going to write the thing of what it generated at the bottom. We're just going to give them the text, and if they assume that it's not me writing it, hey, that's on them. But yeah, I think I'm going to be using the ChatGPT customer service expert approach on particularly difficult customers, maybe from now on, at least for the really, really difficult ones, because every time I've done this, it worked super well. And do what you want with that information. Okay, he hasn't responded to the seller thing, but in the other chat, the one with me, he's saying I have a small dick. Kind of glad I avoided a transaction with this person. With that stuff out of the way, we are going to do the keyword research on Mr. Mug. Well, we might as well start with the obvious, mug display. That keyword itself, number is not very good. However, in that search, there are some good ones. Spice Rack has shockingly good numbers. Green, 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 and low on the volume. And we've collected a bunch of tags. We've included some stuff that's like Halloween themed. It could be, it's a raptor, you know, claw. But it could be like a werewolf or something, or some kind of monster. And that's our product for the day. Bam. And we've got an Einstein. This has been stuck in my head for a while today. And with different bass notes. We got Lincoln here, and we've got Washington. And to complete the July 4th theme, Ben Franklin. People have begun shooting off fireworks, of course, it being the 4th. I've always thought if I wanted to kill somebody, if I needed to shoot them in the head with a gun, the time to do it would be during fireworks season. Sadly, I've never had occasion to do this. Just knocked out a custom design for somebody. It's a shark that's a little more cartoony looking. They want it for their pinball machine or something. We'll probably get it to print over the weekend, and next few days you'll be seeing it. We've got our next big thing to move. So this is going to be really counterintuitive, but this is actually a very meaningful object to me. It doesn't look like much at this point. It just looks like some piece of wood with these like sawhorses on the bottom. But as of this year, I have had this for 20 years and I've never gotten rid of it. This was my dad's recording desk. So in a lot of my old studio photos, there is a big cabinet structure on top of here, and that eventually got destroyed or too messed up in one of the moves, but we still have the underlying desk. In fact, instead of just talking about the old studio photos, I'm going to make a montage of some of them. And if you look very closely, this desk is among them. This is a montage of my old recording studio that I ran for over a decade, called Adrenaline Psalm Studios. In addition to my 12 albums, a lot of friends' albums, and a lot of different audio projects were recorded there. And I might as well show you that right now. It was a glorious time. It was my before times in my personal story. All the homeless stuff kind of happened after that, but I think we're gonna do a small return to the glory days. I'm gonna have a little space in the new house to set up a meager recording area. I think I'm gonna try to put together a collection of new songs, but just stuff that's a little simpler, a little easier, a little more manageable. I don't really have time to do all the elaborate stuff that I used to do, because that was an all-day thing. But I think I can make a collection of simple songs. Not too crazy, you know, in the last few hours of the day after all the business is done. And we're gonna do it old school. We're gonna do it the right way. We're gonna do it with the old recording desk. So a lot of stuff has just gotten shoved on here, but we're gonna clean all this stuff off, probably throw a lot away, and this is probably gonna get strapped up on the top of the car. We're gonna do that, maybe move one of the TVs and some other stuff inside the car, and that's gonna be the load for the day. So here we go. It's very, very rainy. Actually, it was rainy. I don't know. Maybe it'll be all right. Okay, this little kitten is trapped in the rain. I think I'm gonna try to take him to the new neighborhood and see if somebody takes him in. So we're gonna set a little trap. If he goes in there, we'll trap him. This intersection is very, very dangerous, and at least if I set him free in my backyard, he'd be really much farther away from dangerous traffic, and there are a bunch of college girls where I live. One of them would take him in for sure. That thing he was eating was an old chicken wrap, by the way. We'll just wait and see if he goes for it. He's a cat. He can fit under there. We got him. He's under here. Yup, he's under there. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're going to put a thing under there, and we are going to put that in the back of my car. I'm gonna drive to the new house, maybe set up some food for him or something, and put him in my backyard, and maybe put this this Tupperware thing for him to get out of the rain. I'm not actually gonna keep him or anything, but I just want him to not die. As you can see, This is a super busy intersection. There's people, you guys hear, there's people like vrooming all over the place. Here's a nice big piece of cardboard. We're gonna trap him just like a bug. All right, this is probably gonna scare the crap out of him. Oh yeah, he's freaking out. All right, we got him in the car. Y'all right back there? He's not making any sounds. This is probably the most frightening thing he's ever experienced in his life. Wow, he's being surprisingly quiet for an incarcerated cat. He's probably being quiet because he's still got a sandwich in there. Got to finish that sandwich. It was about as big as he was. Another reason he has to leave that area. Not only is it a dangerous intersection, but they're tearing the building down and he might start living under it or something. All right, we're here. Moment of truth. I don't see a cat freaking out anywhere. All right, we're going to lift the non-proverbial lid. Well, he's not hanging around. Yep, I don't know where he went. This is a much better area for him to be. SFA, the local college, of course, is right over there past that house. It's on the next street. Tons of dorms there. If he stumbles over that way, somebody will probably adopt him. I think there's a couple of girls or something who live here and there. So a little bit more of a chance of him not perishing. We'll leave the food out for him. I don't want him to get too comfortable with it, but he's really hungry. You can see he really tore that thing up. So yeah, I guess we sort of did our good deed for the day. This little escapade took kind of a long time. I still got to move a carload of stuff. So we'll catch up on comments and stuff next time. He was just such a cute little kitten. I can't have a cat because I'm super allergic to them. But everybody deserves a chance at life. So I'll catch up with you next time. Write in the comments what you're grateful for. This has been an M3 production. You never know what you're gonna get. Every day can be a beautiful adventure. Peace out, folks. Happy 4th, everybody.
Stay around you. I can't say what I need. This blinding adolescence I'm seeing to me. Standing in a moment, what has been is cast aside, frozen there as time rode. I know that you must have died. say Wiedersehen.